Hey guys, so as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be bringing you with me on my Uber slash Lyft rides. I've been driving with them for, well, I've been driving with Uber longer, but I always was qualified with Lyft as well. I just got more rides with Uber in the area that I'm in, which I'm going to get into more detail on later. We'll cover everything. But I will be bringing you along, and if you're interested in becoming an Uber or Lyft driver, you can kind of see the process. So let's get started. So first things first, before you leave the house, so always bring your phone, your keys, and a wallet. At least I do. Oh yeah. And say goodbye to your cat. Oh. Can I have a kiss goodbye? What's going on? Love you. Going to drive, Father.
Okay, be safe, please.
And I'm making a video showing
cool.
Uber driving.
Be safe.
Yep, I will. It's raining out.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not snowing yet. Ooh, it's cold. Ugh. Good thing I got a new car tripod, which I'm gonna hook up right now, so I will be right back. Okay guys, I have you set up on my new car camera mount, which works great so far. It's nice and sturdy. Okay. So I will be pretty much going over a day in the life of an Uber and Lyft driver. And I mentioned this earlier that I would talk about how I typically drive with Uber more than I do with Lyft. And it's simply because I don't get a lot of Lyft rides in my area, my specific area. So I'm not going to get too particular, but I am further north of New York City. So I'm technically in the Hudson Valley. That's in New York, Hudson Valley. I'm just going to leave it at that. So I don't get a lot of Lyft requests up here. It's pretty much mostly Uber that I get requests from riders. So it's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? So I'm just going to say, first and foremost, that so when you first get into the car, you know, get yourself comfortable. If it's cold outside, get the car heated first, and just get temperatures and everything else right. Make sure you're ready to go and you're comfy. After that, once you download the Lyft and Uber app, or if you're just doing one or the other, this is what it will look like for the drive. Wait a minute. Can you see that? That's the Uber and Lyft driver app. Once you actually open the Uber or Lyft app, we will use Uber for the example app today because that's who I mainly get ride requests with. And say that 5 times fast. And that's where I'm most active, on that driving app. And I've also reached gold status, yay, on Uber's app, the driver app. So with there's like a ranking system. And as you move up in the ranking system, pretty much your perks just increase. So when you are driving with Uber, a request will pop up from somebody, but it won't tell you the direction and the duration of the trip that they need to go on. It'll tell you how far away they are, but it won't tell you where they're headed and how long it's going to take to get there. So once you reach the gold status and the next levels after that, you'll be able to get that type of information. So there's something called an acceptance rate. You'll get these perks and you'll be able to keep them as long as you stay within your acceptance rate. So that means not ignoring calls, not rejecting calls. So that will all help, or not canceling calls, like, you know, as you're driving there or something. So those are all important, and they all play into the rating system pretty much. So you really need to keep that in mind. That will greatly affect certain things. And it'll also reflect in your overall score. So I'm going to open the app now. This is it loading. You can see me on the camera. Okay, let's see. Trip planner. So this is basically like what you'll see. Like there's a go button at the bottom. These are my points at the top. And like there's just like a dashboard of information up here like you can go through. So let's see. I'm just trying to show you like the basic buttons and stuff that there are. May I remind you, this is a gold status profile. So until you get to that, it's going to look slightly different. And there's not going to be as many perks, obviously. And I can make a separate video for the gold perks with being an Uber driver. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments and I will make a separate video for that. But there are cool, interesting settings on the phone, if it'll load. It might be too bright. Let's see if I can turn the brightness down again. There we go. So this is my notification board. There is a setting in the phone where it's called the follow my ride for extra peace of mind. Well, it's just called follow my ride, but yeah. So you can turn that on and you'll be able to share your location live, like literally as you're driving. It'll show a little car going through different routes and stuff live when you hit this button, and that'll go for all rides. And that's to keep you safe. That's to give you peace of mind if you're not feeling safe, or if you are a nighttime driver and you want that security blanket, this is available. And I use it all the time, especially being a female driver. I definitely use it at night. I can definitely get some intoxicated people, and some of them can it hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened where they're a little more touchy-feely or bumping into me or whatever, or saying inappropriate things. So, you know, it's always good for others to know where you are. And especially at night, especially on the weekend nights when people are intoxicated and they don't know what the heck they're doing. It just helps. So just keep that in mind. Also, let me see. Yeah, so up top here, so this is my profile up top. So yeah, it says the gold, and then you have your account settings, and then you can also check out your earnings for the week. And the cool thing about driving with Uber is you can cash out immediately. So you don't have to wait every Tuesday or Friday to get your paycheck from them, or to get, you know, your deposit from them. You literally can just cash out. It'll cost you 50 cents, but who cares? Like, you can literally immediately cash out and it'll go straight to your account, the same, like within a matter of seconds to minutes. That's how it's been working for me. And same thing with Lyft. You can do the same thing with Lyft as well. I just wanted to kind of point that out. So that is really awesome, and a big, like, great reason why I like to drive with Uber. You know, it's, you make your own schedule. You can turn off ride notifications when you're done, when you're like, I need a break, or I'm just done driving for the day, or whatever. You can turn that off whenever you want, whenever you're ready to. You are the owner of your vehicle. So you are an independent contractor, which means you own your vehicle. Uber does not own your vehicle. So if there is a problem or there is an issue, you can safely pull over to the side of the road, park, ask the rider to leave if they are being problematic in any way or making you uncomfortable. You are well within your rights to do that. It is your vehicle. So just keep that in mind. That's how that works. So that's really good to know if anything ever does escalate. I haven't had that situation where I've had to pull over and say, you need to get out, please. I hope it never happens. I hope nobody ever gets to that point where I have to do that, or it makes me feel so uncomfortable that I need to tell them to get out of my car. But I've heard of it happening. I've seen it, you know, I've seen videos online and stuff like that. But I really just wanted to give my firsthand experience on how things go for me. Also, another thing to keep in mind, I drive a Prius. So I do really, really well on gas most of the time. And if you don't have a, turned on right now. If you don't have a smart car or a hybrid, you obviously will probably be paying more for gas and maybe needing to get gas more frequently. So, you know, you have to weigh the pros and cons with that as well. I see the benefit in it because I do so well with gas. It works for me. Honestly, if I wasn't driving a hybrid car, I can't say that I would be driving with them, and I can't say that I wouldn't be. So, you know, I'm just really thankful that I do have a hybrid car. If you do have a hybrid car, great. If not, you know, you're gonna have to do some thinking with that. I have a neighbor here who started driving with Lyft, and he has like an SUV vehicle, and he stopped driving because he said that, you know, it just wasn't worth it with the gas and all that, and the mileage and everything. It was just too much for him, so he just didn't see the benefit in it. I understand. I may have been in that same situation had I had a different car and everything else, but it's really, you got to figure out where it works for you. But if you really are interested and you really want to see what it's like, and maybe you're in a situation where you need extra money, or you're just looking for a nice side situation, Uber and Lyft are great for that. Like just awesome, literally. Another thing I want to address, and because I get a lot of questions, so when I am driving riders around, they will just question me like, you know, I was thinking about becoming a rider, but, you know, I was curious about this, that, and the other, and that, blah, blah, blah. So I'll kind of like just generally go over the general concerns of people. And first and foremost is, aren't you scared of who you might pick up? I get this question so much. And it's usually from women. Yeah, usually the women will ask me this question. The answer to that is not anymore. I don't drive around with fear. In the beginning, when I first started driving, I was like brand spanking new. Yes, I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, what if I pick up a murderer? What if I pick up somebody who's gonna like take me somewhere or whatever, or do something to me? You know, that is a real fear, and I understand it. I get it. But I feel for the most part very safe in the area that I drive in. And I haven't had any issues like that. You know, I've had people say uncomfortable things, or like bump me, or like, you know, like touch my arm, but I will tell them to stop. I will tell them, you know, I'm not comfortable. You're well within your right to say that. I know it can be uncomfortable, especially for people who have a hard time saying no or saying anything, speaking up. You need to speak up. If you're not comfortable, as uncomfortable as you may be feeling, you need to say something. It's very important. I used to be that way, like where I just wouldn't say anything, and it's just, that's not good. You need to speak up when you're not comfortable, especially when somebody's in your car. So yeah, you know, just make it known. And they've stopped, like, and that was really the end of it. And it had to get to the point where I had to pull over and tell them to get out. So yeah, that's my answer to that, you know. And once you start driving, okay, my first ride was nerve-wracking, very nerve-wracking. I was like, oh my God, what if I mess up? What if I don't know how to use the app? What if it crashes? What if this? What if that? Blah, blah, blah. It's almost inevitable to think these things. Some people are fine. They're like, oh, this will be a breeze, piece of cake, whatever. But if you're brand new to like this type of situation where driving people around, or like taxis and stuff like that, it'll be nerve-wracking. It really will be. It'll take you a little while to get used to it and get comfortable with having strangers in your car and you're taking them to their destination. It'll take a while to actually get comfortable with that. And for a while, when I first started, I would not drive at night. I was not comfortable with it. It's taken me time to work up to this, where I am now driving at night. I do weeknight, well, I do weeknights sometimes, but weekend nights as well. And you do very well weekend nights. I'm telling, depending on where you are, which area you are. The area I'm in, I do very, very well weekend nights. So those are the nights that I'm out working mostly. And again, most of them are with Uber. So just pointing that out in this specific area in the Hudson Valley. I'm trying to think of other questions that I've gotten. So yeah, you will be nervous in the beginning. Just try to relax. And a big thing that I want to point out. Some people will ask me like, well, what do you talk about? Like, how do you keep conversation? Or isn't it awkward? Like they're just sitting in the back. You want to take cues from your rider. As a driver, take cues from the rider. If they're talking and they come in conversating, conversate back with them. Reciprocate. They want to talk. If they're quiet, they came in with their headphones in, or they're just on their phone, quiet, face down. They don't want to talk. Don't push it. Don't like try to make them conversate. Sometimes they will start. You'll strike up a conversation. Other times they'll just be like, yeah, okay. So just follow their lead with that is what I would say. You want to make it as comfortable a ride for them as possible, because you have to keep in mind that, you know, they're also getting into a stranger's car. Not only as a driver are you picking up strangers, but riders are getting into a stranger's vehicle. So you want to make sure that it's a comfortable ride for them as well. You want to make sure everybody's comfortable and happy. And yeah, I mean, I find that part to be very easy. I just take cues. When they come in, I will say, hi, whatever your name is. And then I will press start. So there's a swipe button that will, for Uber at least, it'll say start ride. And then the information for where they're going will pop up. And you will have the option, I'll tell you in a minute, you'll have the option to go into Google Maps. Use Google Maps with Uber. Use it. Don't use their Uber GPS. Uber, you're great, but the GPS, nah. Okay, so I'll confirm with them before I start driving. Are you going to this destination? Confirm with the rider where they're going and confirm that it's them. Sometimes you'll get people in the car who are riding for somebody else. So they'll say, oh yeah, my friend, whoever, whose name is on your app, called an Uber for me. So that will happen. Also, there is a law, at least where I am located. If the rider is under the age of 18, you can't pick them up unless they are with somebody, unless they're with an adult who's 18 and over. You can't pick them up. So clearly, if you're pulling up to a high school or whatever, and they're clearly students, you got to be like, how old are you? And if they're under the age of 18, you have to tell them that they need to be assisted with somebody. So just keep that in mind. Look up your local laws and everything like that. So, I'm trying to think of other questions. Oh yeah, the pay, duh. That's why you probably want to know what's going on and you click this video, because what is the pay like? Okay. Honestly, the pay will differ from area to area. So I can't say across the board what it'll be like. Here for me, let's say on an average, and also weekends versus weekdays will vary as well. So there's something called surge pricing, where if there's a lot of people in one area and they're all calling for an Uber or a Lyft at once, it'll strike up a surge price. So the prices will spike. So on top of their original fare, they will have to pay a surge price. So that is mostly common on weekends. And then, you know, holidays are going to be really busy, of course. But like on an average, I will tell you, like an average weekend night for me, or even weekend day to night, I will make $200. That's for a day. And that's me working from like on and off 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. And sometimes I don't even go all the way to 3 a.m. because 12 a.m. to 3 p.m. is super, super, super busy. Super busy. You're gonna get a lot of calls. You're gonna get a lot of drunk people trying to go home. You're gonna like do well at that time. but you have to be comfortable enough to get to that point. I would say work your way up to that point. I would say start with daytime trips, make yourself feel comfortable and safe, and then work your way to driving at night. Just personal advice. So let me think. So yeah, weekend nights are just crazy, at least in my area. It may be different for you in your area. You know, if you're driving in Atlanta, Georgia, then it's gonna pretty crazy all the time. You know, that's just the way it's gonna be. New York City, same thing. You know, it just depends on where you're located. So yeah, that's like an average of what I would be doing on weekends. Weekdays depends, you know, how long you're driving for. Weekdays, I don't really drive too much. I'll drive a couple of hours, and in a couple of hours, I'll earn between, it really varies depending on the day, between usually $60 to $150. That's in a day. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So it just depends on how much you're willing to drive, the area that you're located in, and the days, you know, the days you're driving pretty much. So, okay guys, so it's a few days later and I realized that I forgot to actually record like an actual situation where I turn the app on and I go pick up the rider and pretty much just take you through the process of how a typical ride will go. So let's do that now. So I have my phone open and we're gonna use the Uber driver app today. So Uber is opening up. Now on the bottom of my screen there will be a go button. Go. Okay, so you're gonna hit the go button once you're ready to start accepting rides. Okay, and then it'll tell you you are currently online. And now you wait, pretty much. I'm just grabbing my phone charger here. And I also have a, oops, it got unplugged. To make your experience better for your rider and to help you with points and a really good rating is have multiple different phone chargers in your car. So I have for the iPhone, I have for the USB-C port thing, I have all of them for all different phones, and when riders need a quick charge they always appreciate it. So just a little tip on that. So right now I'm just waiting to get a ride request. It's Wednesday at 4:40 in the afternoon, or at night, excuse me. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting a little while. Okay guys, we got a ride request here. It's 9 minutes away, 13-minute trip south.
Head to your pickup at 4.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up the rider now. I can't show you all the information obviously because it's personal information, but yeah, let's go. So at this point when I'm on my way to pick up the rider, I'll put the music on and just chill out pretty much. So yeah, see you in a little bit.
Then your destination will be on the left.
Okay guys, I'm just a few minutes away from the destination, so you'll see how a typical pickup goes.
Be right there. Please don't leave me.
Please don't leave me.
Your destination is on the left. Leave me.
Okay, okay. What I'm going to point out right now is that once you arrive at the destination for your rider, I know it's getting dark out here. I'm sorry guys. Here, maybe I can pull up to the light right here, if that helps at all. But once you pull up to the destination of your rider, then they are on a timer. A timer will start, and after I think 3 minutes, you have the option to cancel the ride. and they still get charged if they just never showed up. If you tried to reach out to them and they just didn't answer or whatever, you're allowed to cancel after a certain point without being penalized yourself. Because when you do cancel rides, like before they tell you that, oh yeah, you can cancel a ride because they didn't show up, it goes against your rating. So just a little something.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to cancel the trip.
Okay, guys. So the first time that we're supposed to, like when I'm supposed to show you like an actual trip, they cancel.
Hi, it's me.
Okay, no problem. Have a good one. Okay, guys, that was a fail. Oh, that was a fail. It is so dark in here. How do I get out of here? Oh, the lighting is gonna be rough in this video. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, it would typically go, you know, you pick up the rider and then there'll be a green bar at the bottom that says start Uber, and then you just move along and you take him to your destination. But he canceled. His husband came home or something and yada yada yada. Okay. So yeah, it's too dark for me to film again. You guys, if you want another video of me talking about my experience, let me know in the comments. I will make another video. I can make a part 2 if there's any questions that I missed or didn't go over. But try it for yourself. Try it out for yourself. If you're really curious, you've really been wanting to drive, you need that extra money, or you just need a job in general, try it out. It's worth it. It'll take a little bit to get comfortable, but once you are comfortable, it's a breeze. It's a smooth ride every time. Like I don't think twice about it now. It's like, hi, how are you? Where are you going? If they want to conversate. If not, then you just go on your merry way. Put on some music and you're pretty much good to go. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe to this video and my channel. I greatly appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.